This is case 6.1 and we're looking for items that are abnormally large. Use Excel, run the summation test on the dollar amounts. Here I have my data. I'm going to copy the entire column D. I'm going to go into Excel right here and paste. Run the test essentially means take this formula and copy it down to the last row. I'm getting the plus sign, swift left, double click. The formulas are copied down. I leave it up to you to go down to the last row and see that we've copied formulas all the way down to where it needs to go. Run the summation test, show a screenshot of your graph. There it is, summation test. What the summation test does is it gives us the sum of all the dollar amounts with first two digits 10, the sum of all the dollar amounts with first two digits 99, the sum of all the dollar amounts with first two digits 60. A normal test will just give us simply the count. And what I can see is that the sum of the numbers beginning with 10 is high, abnormally high, as is 14 and 15. And that one over there at the 6,000 as well. Show a screenshot of the graph. Interpret the graph. What is it telling us? The graph is giving us the sum of the numbers beginning with 10 all the way up to the sum of the numbers beginning with 99. A large spike on the graph means that the sum of the numbers beginning with 10 is abnormally high. Sort to check amounts. Show a screenshot of the largest 10. I'm going here. I'm just going to right click, sort, oops, I need to click in the dollar amounts. Sort, largest to smallest, and we need to widen the column here, column width, let's go all the way up to 16. And we want the largest 10, which we have over there. And what we can see is we can see 4 $10 million. See, they all have first two-digit 10. And we can see 2 for $6 million, and they have first two digits 60, and they are essentially causing that spike there and that spike there. It might not be causing the whole spike, but at least contributing greatly to it. The 4 largest spikes are for 10, 14, 15, and 16. Either very few or large amounts. Use this table and fill it in. Here we go, group size. So we see that we have a small group of 10s and a small group of 60s. Very few. And we have very few. The magnitude is either very large or medium-sized, and these are indeed very large, 10 million each. Very few of them, very large, and very few of them. To find the, oopsie, I didn't mean to do that there, cut. It needed to go there. I need to go find the 14s and the 15s, and I think I will find them if I just scroll down a little bit. Here we have it. It's a larger group of first two-digit 15s and a larger group of first two-digit 14s, but they add up to a lot. So back here, amount magnitude, medium-sized, and right over here again, medium. And the group size is now not very few, but it's larger group. Larger, and you can fill it out again with all the words. Therefore, what this should be telling us is when we get these spikes, it's either a small group of very big numbers or a larger group of smaller numbers, but they add up to big dollars. Run the largest subset test using vendor name, currency, total count. We should be good here. I'm back. It doesn't matter that it's sorted. We're good. Insert. PivotTable. PivotTable. It's got everything. I'm good to go here. Vendor name. I want the count first, so I don't want sum. I particularly prefer count. And I'm going to take amount down to the bottom right again, and now I get sum. And what I want is I want something that looks like that. Figure 6.5. And now, let's do it over here. We'll do vendor name. Vendor name. We'll do total count. We'll do total dollars. And we are going to widen over here. We'll do column width. I'll take a 32. Column width over here, I'll take 12. And that should be very nice. We go, and now E. To get the data in E, I have to go equals A4. And to get the total count, I need to go equals B4, not before and after, just before, equals C4. And what did we want? 20 largest vendors. I'm wasting essentially 3 there, so I need to go down to 23. But before I need to do that, I want it sorted by the sum of amount, largest to smallest. And now it's looking a bit better. And I want to copy this down. Get the plus sign. I'm losing 3 rows, and I want the top 20. So going down to 23 is good. We can make this bold, be a little prettier. And right over here it says formatted as currency with 0 digits after decimal point. Right click, format cells, currency, no digits there, we're good. And we can tidy this up a little bit, and we can format this as number, format cells, number, and we'll use the 1000 separator, no decimal places, it's a count. It's looking pretty good over here. We could make that a little wider as well. And I just wanted to see anything else. Screenshot table that looks like figure 6.5. We're good. The largest vendors. The largest subset test shows paid to this vendor. That's the website. Or does it seem out of place? I leave that up to you. Number 7. Largest subsets gross. So we're trying to see which vendors have grown by a large percentage. Vendor name and amount. Delete vendors with 1 payment, and let's see. Period 1, period 2. I'm back here. I'm back into checkbook. I think I'm going to go and say goodbye to the Negrini cycle. I won't save it, but you should. Here we go, period. There we go. And that's the check date. So we'll use a formula in here, which goes something like this, equals if year of E2, that's where the check date is. If year of E2 is, if year of E2 is less than or equal to 2014, then it's period 1. If that's not true, it's period 2. And let's see if this works properly. This is telling me this is period 2, we're good. And I can see that our row 8 should be period 1. Plus sign, double click back there, it did that correctly. I now have my periods all the way down to the bottom. I now need to get the count and the sum for each vendor for each period. This is going to be a little tricky, and we'll go Insert, Pivot Table, Pivot Table. See that it goes all the way through to K. It's picking up the period. We should be good here. The row is going to be vendor name. So far, so good. The amount is what I want to do, get the count, and I want to get the sum. I'm pulling amount down again. Count and sum. Well, what we have here is we have the count and the sum for the entire period. I need to break it up between these two periods, and I'm going to take period here and pull it into columns. And now, isn't this nice? I have the sum for period 1, the sum for period 2, the count for period 2, oops, the total count is 1, and we're good over there. I have the two sums and I have the count. I wish I had a count for each period. Let's see. Oh, I do have the count. I have the count for 1, the count for 2, the sum for 1, the sum for 2, the total count, the total sum. Mark. I'm good here. I can actually close this. I'm not going to be cruising around there anymore. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say that what I want here is the name of the vendor, and the name is going to come from A6. So far, so good. I want the period 1 total, period 1 total, and that is equal to D6. I want the period 2 total, and that is coming from E6. Good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this by count of amount, the total count descending. Sort largest to smallest. I'm going to widen this a little bit, column width, 24 should do it. And for the periods, we can go 12. And it's terribly badly formatted here, but we should be good. And what we say here is, do not calculate a percentage increase for vendors with 0 in the first period, and delete any vendors with only 1 payment in the period. So I need vendors to have at least 2 payments, and so I'm going to copy this down until I get to the end of 2 over here. There we go. Now, as you can see, every vendor has got at least 2. And that was one of my criteria. I'm going to go up here. I think we're going to go here and tidy this up. Format cells, and what we'll do is we'll do currency. And here we go. Now what I need is the change from period to period. And we'll go here. I will call this percent increase. And I'm going to do the formula in 2 steps. Number 1, get the percentage increase. And that will be equals K6 minus J6 divided by J6. That's not a percentage. I'm going to go back here, do an F2, and put it all in parentheses, multiply by 100, and now I have a percentage increase of 21.775. We'll go down here, and I will format this, format cells. For now, number 2 is good. However, what we did say was, delete any vendors with only 1 payment. So we did that. Do not calculate a percentage increase for vendors with 0 in the first period. So we're going to go back up here, and we're going to do F2, and I will go equals if J6 is greater than 0, then do this formula. Otherwise, give me a 0, and it's okay to do the 0 because I'm going to be sorting from largest to smallest, and it'll just drop those at the bottom. There we go, F2 again. If J6 greater than 0, calculate the percentage increase, otherwise slap a 0 there. We're good. I'm going to copy this down, double click, and we're good. And what we should notice is when we have a 0 here, we get a 0 there. Actually, the percentage increase is infinite, but we didn't want that. And now what we will do is we will sort this from largest to smallest, but if I sort this now, all that's going to happen, it'll recalculate it. And we'll be back to where we started. So I know that the end of my data is at 3442. 3442. And I'm going to convert all this to values. I am in I6. F5, go to I6 to L3442. It's all highlighted. You can highlight it manually if you like. Right click, copy, right click, paste values, that one, I'm good. And now when I sort, largest to smallest, I now have the largest percentage increases and everything is correctly calculated. I have indeed done number 7. Screenshot of the 20 vendors. 8. Delete all vendors with the period total under 500. The reason is, if we go here, we see an increase from a very low base to 8,000, and I get a massive percentage increase, or even here, $19, I get a massive percentage increase, and these are very small amounts. I want to, in fact, delete anybody with less than period 1 in the total. I'm going to go here, we'll do home, we will do a filter. We will go onto period 1, a number filter. And did we say greater than or equal to? I think greater than or equal to. I'm going to leave it up to you. It might just be greater than 500. This is just guidance. There we go. And now we have the largest percentage increases, but everything here is 500 or higher. Screenshot. Number 8, select one vendor from the 20 largest. And when we select one vendor from the 20 largest, I'm just trying to see how many rows we waste at the top, so we should need to go down to 20. Oh, those numbers have gone skew over there. You find the largest 20. When I want to find a vendor to audit, really, if the two totals are small, even if the percentage increase, I will ignore it. Also, I need something where it's services, something where I could have maybe had a fake vendor, and certain things, maybe if it was a bank, payments to bank, that's probably not a fake vendor. I leave it up to you. I want a large percentage increase. I want large dollar amounts in both columns, and I want something that could be easily faked. Again, this is just an example. We're not asserting any fraud over here. We're just using this to illustrate a point. Bye-bye.